catalyst for change with the chance to thrive. Crystal is the one to stir up gifts and save lives. You get exposure, promotion, and marketing too. And advertise for business owners just like you. On Storytime, your interview is global. Virtual or in person, just come on the show. Yo, your story matters. Crystals will open the door. 40 years of experience, ready to give you more on Storytime. Get ready for Storytime. Hey, come on.
And I am excited to come to you today. You see what I have going on. I know you see the flyer. Welcome to Storytime, everybody. Tonight we have a young lady here. I want you to take a look at this picture. On stage here and remove this picture from in front of you. I want to let you know what's happening. How you doing today? I'm so excited to be here tonight because this young lady that I have here, she is so full of energy and love. And that's why the middle of her name is Love. And you know what? I saw this on her page and it said, Love is coming. So I want to say to you people, Love is coming. She is coming. We call her Love. And if you know anything about her and you've seen her face before, it's going to look a little something like this. She is so full of energy and she's got that bright smile. You might even see those glasses on her here and there. And she's vivacious. And sometimes you might even see them like this. But we are so excited to bring Miss Wanda Love coming all the way from Florida. And I think I may hear her knocking at the door. But before we bring her out, I want to let you know she may come by herself or she may have a friend. She's got a little friend named Abby that hangs out with her sometimes. So I don't know if she's going to have Abby with her or not, but that is her pride and joy. But let's see. I think I might hear her knocking at the door. So let's see. Miss Wanda, are you there?
I'm here. I think I am. Oh, hey, I am here.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Well, listen, I want to say thank you so much for being here today. We are excited. We know that we are out here today on the island because we got a lot of people that are Eagle fans. There's a big game going on tonight right now. You know anything about
I hear. I no, there's bugs. Yeah, there's some apparently food somewhere on the premises. Yes, I could hear my neighbors yelling, screaming for somebody, but I don't know who yet.
Oh my goodness. Oh my.
Have you picked a team? Have you picked a winner? Do we care?
I am not a football fan at all. I am not a football fan at all. Okay.
I usually go to the party.
Yeah, after party, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, our guest tonight is Wanda Love Myles, and she has a website. I put the website up on the screen so you can see it right now. So, first and foremost, Wanda, how are you tonight?
I'm great. It's
great.
I am.
Awesome. You look amazing. You look energetic and everything like that.
I had a nap. I did have a nap. I got to admit, you know.
Wow. And I was reading everything about you, and I saw where you and I wrote it down. I said, "Wow, Wanda is so versatile. She's Miami based, and you're a media professional with so much extensive career that you've had in radio broadcasting and production." Before we talk about your career in radio broadcasting and production, I always like to ask my guests to tell me a little something about who is Wanda. Who is Wanda, that little girl? Now I know
A little girl.
because we
So many.
had. Yeah, who was Wanda? Who was Wanda that was born into the street family the way I know it? Tell me a little bit about Wanda, the little girl, and your background, a little bit about your family and where you came from.
Well, I'm sure I remember me different than my family might remember me, but my family tends to have memories of me that I've forgotten, probably for good reason, but that's all good. Um, I remember being a vivacious kid. I was a tomboy, though my mother really fought that a lot. So generally, I was in a dress chasing after boys or girl, whoever I was chasing after at the time, and I hadn't yet discovered my love of animals, but definitely I have a love of outdoors. But back then, we were all outdoors kids. We like, we were on the streets if we lived in the city, or we were just outside. That's where our parents unleashed us and got their stuff done. So, but I also went to private schools, so
Nice.
my days were spent with a different crowd, and so
Hmm.
it made my worlds a little awkward at best. But navigating that, I think, is probably what made me the ability to weave in and out of groups
Let
and
me ask
blend in.
you, they unleashed you outside. Now you live in the South now, and you grew up in the North. Can you see the difference growing up in the North versus growing up in the South when you see the children outdoors now in the South?
Um, I don't see the kids out, but yeah, I mean they're out. They're at the beach or they're at some place. They're not out being as creative with their fun as we were back in the 70s, the 80s, kids that we were, and probably still are.
Yeah, because we had double dutch and hopscotch and all that.
Yeah, jumping rope. I was talking to someone about in an interview a few years back, and we were talking about jumping rope. I'm like, they don't do that anymore. First of all, in Florida, it's really hot in the summer, and so that's another reason. But if you buck up, that's why you came to Florida, folks, for the heat. But it's getting a little. Right now is perfect in Florida. It's winter time in Florida where it's the daytime is probably it's getting to be about 80 now. But sleeping that night without the AC on is at least a month or two of pleasure. And
Wow.
that's why we have our snowbirds. Love you, Canada. Love you,
Yeah,
Northerners.
yeah. So, do you prefer the hot weather? Because coming up north, we had
You
real
do.
snow. You prefer it?
Yeah, I like to visit. I like to visit the snow and not have to drive anywhere because I'm just visiting and not doing anything. When I visit, I don't do anything. I just like to relax and be. But actually, that's kind of my mode all the time. But I'd like to go up. I think it's just because I would go home for the holidays and for my mom's birthday. And so if you get Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and my mom's birthday all wrapped in one, you can get a month or two.
Wow. And I know for me, it's a joke down here because when it snows, they close everything down. They shut everything down. It's
In
like
the
two.
Carolinas,
Oh my goodness. Do they do that in Florida?
it doesn't snow. Well, I guess it snowed up north, like Jacksonville-ish area, but that's not me. It's my aunt and my cousins, but I'm in Miami. It doesn't snow in Miami. Not. I mean, I'm sure they have some sort of fake snow place. I think there is actually a place that's fake snow because it is Miami, and they will come up with anything to create
Wow.
some fun.
Mm. So you are a person who has been in the industry of radio, and you've done quite a bit of things. You've been on National Public Radio. You've done
Yep.
some things in Winston-Salem with the Media Group and Atlantic Radio Network. Is this something that you dreamed about doing when you were a child?
I'm gonna say no. I think I always wanted to be in the entertainment industry on some level. I like bringing fun. I mean, that's all. I like entertaining. I've always been, I think, an entertainer on some level or not. Uh, Radio was just what came. What was the first job I guess that I got? Well, no, I kind of wanted it. I wanted to be in radio because it seemed like I wanted to do voice work. I liked the idea of using my voice and not having to show my face as much. Um, because I always thought, well, I can always clean up well, but
Mhm.
having a voice that people are going to listen to, yeah, that was a little different. So, and I always enjoy different.
So who's that voice that you listened to that made you go, man, I want to do that? I know for me in New York, it was Frankie Crocker. You had that, you
Uh,
know, who was the voice for you?
I think I always loved Casey Kasem. I mean, everybody did, and just to do, I always loved the countdown. That whole counting down to number one. I
Yes.
and just the whole mystery of it, and just that everybody was listening to that one show at a time on the radio, and it took you places. So I think probably starting with Casey, but it doesn't seem. I guess there was Wolfman Jack. I sort of remember. No, I don't know that he was, but just the guys with the voices that stood out. Because then I would like, as I would, we would take trips on the road. I would read the signs the way I think that they might read them. Strange
Wow.
things that a kid does when they're in the back of the car.
Mm-hmm.
Without computers at that time, no screens. So,
Okay. So when people tune into you,
hmm.
what do you want them to feel? A lot of times when we listen to radio or music, people are in a certain place. They go to relax or they go to tune out or they go to enjoy or wind down. What do you like people to feel when they're listening to you?
It's like a warm hug. I don't know. We're just somebody sitting on the couch right next to you, and we're just listening to some music and talking about it, maybe, or just not a whole lot of chatter, but just like a good song will come on. You'll lean over to your friend, like, remember this one?
Wow.
And you go someplace a little bit, and then you're like, just listen to the music. There's a lot of talk radio, and there's a lot of talking, and I just think if we just would be quiet and listen, even if just listen more to each other for a change. But even
Mhm.
listen to music, just listen to some music, everyone would just calm down a little bit. And so I always invite people to visit the radio station because it's all different kinds of music because I've grown up listening to all kinds and loving all kinds of music. And when I say that, I mean it. Um, it's the music that I like, and it mixes all genres because I don't want to leave anyone out.
So you've had a lot of diverse roles. You've been a program director, you've seen the voice talent, and you've been a network producer. So when you say that about people talking too much on the radio and people listening to one another, what's changed out there in the radio industry from how it was back in the 70s and 80s to how it is now?
Money, I'm sure, is always what makes the world go round. Clearly, mainstream legacy radio is, as with TV or all the entertainment, um, less people own it, the more control they have over it. And not that that was ever really a problem. I think it just always, the talk always seems to get political, and it's never, and it's still on some level telling people, which is why I left. I was tired of all the talking, and especially in the political climate of it was just so easy to stir people up and stir up the fear and stir up all the things we don't like so much about each other, as opposed to just listening to music. And I miss listening to music; makes me feel better. And the station that I've been uh, pampering for the last 4 years is all about that. It's just making you feel good. And although a friend of mine was listening, and she said she cried. What song was that? What happened? That wasn't supposed to happen, but it was a song that it's about love and
Mm,
losing. So
wow.
I might
Love.
have I might have to reconsider it, but I don't because I don't want anyone to cry. But she just lost a dog, so she's in a place, so she might cry
So
anything really.
so you made me think of a saying that I once saw. It said, "Home is where memories are created, love resides, and friends are always welcome, and laughter never ends." It's
Huh?
seems like that's what you present on your station. That's kind of like the feeling you want people to feel when they come. So that doesn't sound like a station that has like hardcore rock and roll or rap or that harsh music with profanity and
I
anger
do.
and hatred.
No, oh no. Sometimes I have to think about when I'm putting a song on, because sometimes it gets me riled up, and I'm like, am I getting riled up for the wrong reasons? Am I getting angry? Do I want to want to bust some heads, or do I just want to go? Do I just want to go dance in the streets? It's kind of like it's really
Mhm.
that kind of a difference of riling up. So, did I answer the question? I'm not sure, but yeah, no,
That does, because I'm saying like people are going through a lot today. People
yeah,
are suppressing a lot. They're depressed. Mental health is a big issue. So I think your station is probably a perfect place for people to go because they're going to leave there feeling warm and fuzzy on the inside.
yeah.
They're not going to
Well,
leave there feeling angry.
and the conversation that is there, it's brief, and it's ways to get ahead in life. It's as opposed to bashing anybody over the head. I mean, you may not like it or agree with it, but it's not going to make you. I don't think it'll make you angry. A soul of business is with Blaine in the morning, and that's just for like 35 to 40 minutes before we get back to music. And Les, of course, is all about the 664, which is what I've basically been toting for the last 4 or 5 years, and that's retirement planning that's better than Social Security. And since they're mucking around with Social Security, it's just a better option and an option that you can leave your money to charity as
Hmm.
opposed to with Social Security, it's left to the government when you pass away. It just goes poof as
Wow.
Les likes to say into the ethers. It's like, oh, I didn't know that because I don't have heirs. So it'd be wonderful to uh, get to that point where I can leave my money to charity more than leaving it to the government. But there's only certain tax codes that allow you to do that. So less discovered. Well, I don't know that he discovered it, but he figured out a way that we can use it a lot better. It's just as Congress tends to do, they let things just sit around and gather dust before they use them or not use them. The powers that be. If only.
That sounds like the book that you wrote. Now I know that you've done some things in the industry, and I'll put them on the screen here because there's so many great things that you've done in regards to just making sure that you get the message across. And let me just put it on here so people can see, because I know that you have had some great professional highlights. I'll let them go across the screen so they can read them. You've hosted and produced the NPR's morning edition for over a decade, so that's got to be interesting. Been the program director at the media group, and you did some voice dubbing talent for international television programs. So I want to ask you this. You've been on radio, you've done some things with TV. If somebody's watching or come back and does the replay and they're interested in getting in the industry, they've never done it before, what would you suggest to them that they need to do? And let's talk
Hmm.
about people, places, and things. What do they need to do if this is the industry they want to be in?
Well, in this day and age, I think it's even harder. I don't want to say it's more challenging. It's always challenging because there's a lot of competition out there. But I would say the first thought that came into my head was you can get on Fiverr and make yourself available, or start some sort of YouTube channel and just use your voice. You don't have to put your face out there. There's this sit. I also love meditation, so sit, meditate on it, and listen to and follow the guidance that you get. Like it may seem kind of weird, but give it a shot. I don't know.
Mhm.
Listen to your instincts. We don't do that enough.
Anybody that you listen to and that you follow and you watch right now on the internet, because the internet is the big thing now, right? Everything is available to us on the internet. Anywhere that you would suggest people go.
Um,
Besides,
just I would say go to YouTube and Google what you're looking for, or I mean, YouTube is a search engine really. Put it in and you'll find something, or just put it in Google or put it in Chat GPT. They will use the digital sources that are available. When I was a kid, it was the encyclopedia and I guess the radio. I don't know. I mean, I think, or the library, and stuff like that. That's where we went and got our information, and
Yeah.
that was limited.
And guess what? The library today is called Google.
Pretty
Google
much.
is the new library. Now,
Or Wikipedia.
yeah, Mark put in something very interesting. He said inner self-guidance. And that's a good point, Mark.
Yeah,
A lot of times we do have to tap inside to ourselves to see what it is that, we want to do, and listen to ourselves, because our instinct won't lie to us at all. They won't lie to us at all, and
those are whispers of God, as far as I'm concerned. So, we don't listen to them enough.
That's very interesting. So now, in addition to doing everything that you did in the radio, I know that you also dibbled and dabbled, and you have an author journey. And you recently transitioned into authorship with your book Dead Air, which appears to be a personal narrative exploring themes of love, laughter, and finding one's voice. And that tapped into what we just said. So that's the perfect segue. So talk to me about how you made that transition and why.
Well, I've always wanted to write a book, and I didn't really, the options that were presented to me were write a book about what you do, and thus you can go around and then present it in such a manner. Like I can go around and it's like, well, I've only been my art form is just being myself and crafting this life that I want to live and live it happily on my own terms, not everyone else's. So it was like the writing the book was a way for me to see where I came from and how I got to where I am and how it shaped my beliefs along the way. But it was always about finding your voice and being heard amidst a crowd of people that don't generally agree with me. I've always been a little different, not a little, I guess I want to say a little different. I mean, maybe a lot different. Just, I like different. I like new and I like exploring and I like adventures. I like to get into a little trouble every now and then.
Oh, okay.
Legal, mostly.
Love, laughter, and finding one's voice. When did you know that you found your voice?
I think I'm still finding my voice, but my voice is on radio. So I figure that is probably the best place for, even though it's changing and it's, now podcasting, but it's just finding a way to express myself. And I'm comfortable with the title artist, which I hadn't always, because it felt like something different when I was younger, but now it feels like something I can age into gracefully. So I'm gonna pick up some art forms. I'm learning piano. Mm-hmm. So, just find ways to entertain people and myself at the same time.
Wanda, what do you do to perfect your craft? Do you have any book that you recommend or any audio that you've listened to that helped you to become the person that you are today?
Oh, for me, it's always been writing, but it's never been one particular person that stands out. I've like you said, dibbled and dabbled, like that one. Different authors. Once the internet became so available, you just find anything online and learn. But no, I don't have any particular. I just say read it all. Read what you can get your hands on, and if you don't like it, you don't have to finish it. You put it back on the shelf.
Wow. Now, so you went from radio to being an author, and you also authored social Charity, a book about financial strategies for a new generation. Now that's good because we need to pass on some wisdom to the new generation. So
Well,
I'm going
yeah,
to show a picture of the book and let people see. I think, is this correct? Is this a good one right here? If I show this one right
I
here,
have it.
is this right here good? Is
It's this
that
one here.
it's got a combination of both of them with
Yeah,
deaddiary.com?
here. That
Oh,
one.
okay, that one.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that it's this one. It's Social Security, and it's the book that I've been working on with the Endow American Network Foundation. Oh, there
oh,
it is.
yeah, I got that one right there. Let me move this so they
It's
can
this
see.
little baby. Oh, Gen Alpha. It's all the kids born, I think, after 2010, maybe.
Uh-huh.
So that's the new generation, and we're not sure they're going to have their retirement. And so getting the tax code 64 up and running has been a mission that I've been really excited to be a part of, and just letting everyone know about it. It's a better way to go than Social Security.
So it
And
says philanthropy is just the beginning. 664 is the key to unlock the door. Welcome to an abundant world. Talk to me about what that means
well,
particularly.
we're all philanthropists. We just don't know it. We're involuntary philanthropists because when you pay taxes, you are giving your money to the government to hopefully give to charities, but
Mhm.
whatever it is that they do with the money, which for me is the issue. I'd rather give it to a charity myself. And with 664, if you we'd like to get kids at a younger age involved in opening their accounts younger and younger, particularly because they won't. We don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Things happen every day and they change. But they're mucking around with Social Security. So Social Security, leave your money when you go to your favorite charity. And I'm sure if it's your community, it could be to create a school after school thing. I mean, there's all sorts of projects that we could put our hearts into and put our money into when we don't need it after we're gone.
Wow, wow. So would it be safe to say that you don't have any children? Is that correct?
It
Or do
would
you?
be safe to say yes.
So do you think you would be feeling that way if you had children, or do you think that's
I
the
don't
way?
know how I would feel if I had children, and if I had children, I would probably be a completely different human being. So, yeah, I think it would absolutely change if I had kids. Um, but I would still want to them to have a legacy, and I love the idea of legacy, leaving something behind if you don't have kids, and if you do have kids, working with them, you can build a family legacy that way. That's something you all care about. For me, it would be animals and for pets, and I would love, if, to have the legacy of. Oh, actually, that's my other dog, Polo, who passed away.
Oh,
She passed away in April and had loved it. But that's okay. I don't have a whole lot of dog pictures of the new one, but I can absolutely.
so she's a dog lover too. So that's it. So it definitely. Oh,
This is
look at
Abby,
look at
and
Abby.
she
Wait a minute.
well, Polo passed away in April, and he had been with me for 14 years.
Is
There he
that?
is. Yeah, that's Polo.
Oh, okay.
He was my heart there for a while. So letting him go in April, and then I just wanted to take a break because I thought I didn't want to just get another dog, and I wanted the wound to heal itself. Is how
Yes.
I try to describe it to people. I was still healing, and I didn't. But then I went outside and was walking around, and she just showed up, and here we are.
Wow. So
I didn't
what about
want to
dead?
send her off.
Tell me. So I kind of get the idea about what social charity is about, but what is dead air about? What is that one?
Dead
That's
Air is just about it's called Dead Air, the Diary of a Radio Star. So it kind of makes fun of the thing that we all fear the most, death, and as a radio person, is the dead air, is the quiet. But it's about the quiet is our friend. That's where, to me, that's where God is. The silence
mm,
where you can meet your maker. And I've always loved quiet because I hear I just think that I hear things a little bit more. I hear the my intuition, if
Mm.
and some, there's prayer and then there's meditation, and I would say prayer is talking to God and saying, God help me, do whatever. It's all good. But for me, meditation is just listening, and I again, I'm a fan of the listening. I'm a fan
But
of quiet.
so on your radio station, do you play a lot of meditation music?
I have, but I get kind of, it's always on Eastern time, and I always have this idea that someone could drive off the side of the road because I'm not going to get on something too sleepy. Some truck drivers driving at 3 a.m., but to me it's 6 a.m. and I'm like, I get a little nervous. So if I do it for like 30 minutes, and it's beautiful. I don't want to put anyone to sleep while they're on the road. So I get a little concerned. So
Mark
fan of
said,
quiet. Thanks, Mark.
he said a fan of quiet. So let's talk
Absolutely.
about that for a minute. A lot of times, there's a scripture in the Bible that says, "Be still and know that I am God." And sometimes God wants you to stop what you're doing, stop moving, and just listen.
Yeah.
So when you talk about quietness, that also makes me feel like that's a good place for people to go when things are not happening, they're not succeeding, you're not getting the answers you want. It's because God may want you to sit down somewhere. And at church, he actually talked about that today, like sit still and listen. So when you say that makes perfect sense to me. Be quiet and listen now. So how did you come up with that book? Was it because you were in a place in your life where you weren't getting the answers you needed? Where did it come from?
Well, it came from this desire just for quiet and just that, like, something that people fear is dead air, and it's nothing to fear. That's where we should. Kind of like the fire. Anyone what's the fire? You're going the wrong way. Head towards
Mhm.
there. And it was also, it's the space. I think Prince even said something about the space between the songs. It's that quiet space that gives it a little extra life. We don't take enough time with the quiet. It's yeah, it's about the space in between. And so dead air for me was some of the hardest parts of my life. There's been a period between them where I retreat from everything and everybody. And even with COVID, it was a lot of people, and I look at things differently. But it was a good time for people to go within. I think that whole period of time, if you want to look at it, what did we get out of it? It was time that we all had to break free of these things that we thought were. We all had to go to work to a 9 to 5 job, and we all figured out that maybe some of us can do it from home and probably do it a lot better from home without someone hanging over you.
Now,
Uh,
Kwan, the young lady Kwan, I see what you wrote, Kwan. I put it up there. It's beautiful in the dead air.
it is.
That's 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 kind of profound. And some people never get there. They never catch it because they're so busy moving, they're so busy searching, they're so
Got the
busy.
radio on, they got something on them, feeding the noise. I'm like, can we just listen?
And then Mark, this was so good what you said. Mark said it, he said, be present.
Yes,
So
Mark.
you
Mark,
stop.
you might be woke, Mark.
Yeah, and so the beauty in the dead air, so there's no fear in the dead air. That's
No.
what I'm getting from you. There's no fear in being alone. Some people are afraid to be alone, and I think that's
Mm.
why they don't want the space and the time alone because they're afraid of what they might find out about themselves.
Well, I think sometimes if you feel like you're alone, you feel like nobody wants to be with me. So it's feeling more. They just feel unloved, and
Mm,
so getting to the root of why don't I like feeling
wow.
alone? Do you love? You got to figure out why you don't want to be with yourself.
And you see what she wrote? Look what she wrote. She said,
There
I
you go.
find myself there, the real
There
me.
you, yeah, and that's also where God will meet you. You don't need. Yeah, I don't need
That's
church.
awesome.
I just don't. I need my churches sometimes is to take a long walk and listen to the quiet and find God. I find God in the strangest places. some
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you? How can a person get the book? We know they can go on social.
Amazon, that
Amazon is always
that
the answer, y'all. So I'm
insane
gonna put it back
book
up here so
dealer.
y'all can see it. It's gonna be here. I think this one right here is available on Amazon, and I think right here it's at deadairdiary.com, right?
Yeah, I
So
think you can go there, but it'll just take you to Amazon. But by all means, visit the website.
and go there, and you definitely get it, and you get both of the books. So, is there a third book lurking inside? Is there something up
Uh,
stupid?
there might be. Who knows? The Dead Air was kind of the beginning, and we'll see where it goes. And it leaves space for another adventure. And I look forward to the next 50 years or so, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on
And
how exciting it gets.
wow. So, are you available now since you have all this knowledge and wisdom? Are you available for speaking engagements? Do you pass on some of this wisdom to others or interns or any people that are new in the industry?
I If people have questions, I do my best to search. They're my answers, they're my experiences. So I'm always open to talking to folks anywhere, any day.
Wow. That's good, Mark. A dead air diary. Wow.
That's it.
Wow. That's good. Where you just
Here it is.
journal. Wow. Yeah. The making of the video. Wow. Is there space in there for them to write some things down?
Um, well, I think so. Sure, why not? You can
Mm-hmm.
write it in a book, unless you get a Kindle. Don't do that.
I think I get the idea what Mark is saying though, like not just go find the piece, but write it down and then follow through. Do you agree that maybe sometimes we do go somewhere, we get quiet, we sit still, we find something, we hear something, but we don't follow through?
I'm sure that happens a lot. I think sometimes it's staying in the quiet and just being with it, as opposed to thinking about, which is challenging because sometimes you're like, I gotta write that down, but sometimes you just need to just be with it, because maybe there's more. Maybe it's the thread of something. Maybe it's like I have to write that down, but there's more at the end of it. And if you go and write that down, then you didn't get to the end of that thread. So it's like when you dream. Some of the best dreams are right when you're waking up in the morning.
Right.
You pay
Yes.
attention to your
Yeah.
dreams like that. Like you
Yeah.
don't. It's like, oh wait, that dream was a long journey or something wherever, but you only remember the parts when you first wake up. So
Wow.
stay
So
through the dream, stay through the meditation.
So let me ask you something. When you got in this quiet phase, what's the scariest or the most exciting thing you found out about yourself?
Well, it's never scary. Um, I think the challenge would be sitting there. Was the That I could stay there, and after a while, it got easier and because I'm really good about sitting still. Maybe 30 minutes is my max. Unless you've got me, hanging on the edge of my seat. Like I watched a movie for 2 hours. I was just like, wow, that was a creepy movie. I don't notice that I've been sitting there for 2 hours watching a movie. Yeah, it's like, oh, that's time well spent.
Yeah, so that was a good one, Mark. You're right. You're right. She said, just be with it. Like just be in the moment.
Absolutely.
Just catch the moment. Like don't miss it. And I I tend to sometimes be a person because sometimes I take a lot of pictures and videos, and sometimes when I'm in a space, right,
Yeah,
I'm not in the moment
I
because
know.
I'm so busy trying to catch moments for others because that's how I'm built. And sometimes I have to stop myself so I can be in the moment, so I can be present for myself.
Who are you catching them for?
Sometimes because I am a videographer, sometimes or a photographer, right? And when I
Okay,
go places, I tend to see things like, let's say I'm at a wedding or let's say I'm at a funeral and I see siblings together that maybe they haven't been together for 10 years, right? And this is
gotcha.
the first time I catch the
Document.
moment. Like, oh, let me catch that picture. Y'all are together. And so, but sometimes because I'm so programmed to do that, I can miss something that's there for me.
Yeah.
So how would you tell someone like that who's prone to doing something like that to stop that and to catch the moment for themselves?
I would say you're gonna have to be really super alert because you're gonna have to listen to when you're catching it and when you need to pay attention to what's actually going on outside the camera because the camera's only on one focused on one thing. So maybe as you're going to take that shot, make sure you get the because maybe you might even be missing another shot that's over there somewhere. If you're, I would just say widen your lens. Maybe is that just
Mm,
hyper. You're gonna have to. It can be done clearly.
oh,
Focus on all kinds of things, and if you're trusting your intuition, you're gonna get the nudge to look that way or look that way.
so I see what you said. Mark said work on breathing. And she said, boy, let's go. But let's go back to what you said. Quan said, I was never afraid, but I was challenged, having to unlearn a lot to know more of me.
That's true.
Challenged. Having that's good because we are creatures of habit. And so we're doing things.
And we're taught a lot of things. That's the unlearning part that she's like, because adults, teachers, parents, aunts, uncles, all those folks, they are doing the best that they can, but they don't know everything. I mean, they're experiencing life as we are learning as they go. So they're going to teach you from their experience, but their experience is not the only. And they were affected by their parents, and then their parents were affected. We're all learning from people that are probably a little. They have their own issues about stuff, like things that they're afraid of that they should. Like I think my mom was afraid of animals, so I never really knew I loved animals until I was an adult because there weren't animals around me or in my life, and I'm just like, how did I not know I loved animals?
Right.
Although I did have fish, and I loved my fish, so she let
Yeah.
me have fish.
So that's interesting. That means that we have to be careful as parents when we have children, right? Because
Oh yeah,
another example is if we like broccoli and we cook broccoli all the time, and our children will never get to taste things like cabbage and Brussels sprouts because we always giving them broccoli because we love broccoli and we think they love broccoli. But I found out now with my children as adults, something they hate because I gave them so much as a child. They're like, no, I don't want no more of that because you gave it to me all the time.
oh boy, yeah.
So that's interesting. You said that. So we can't always feed our children what we want. We
Your
have to
children aren't you.
expose.
They're not supposed to be you. Part two. They're supposed to be their own individual walking. I created them for a reason. First,
Yes, yes,
so
yes.
as
And
much as we want them to be a little me, they're mini me's. They're just not. They're not
and
really.
that is so true.
I don't have kids, but I also didn't want kids because I knew that was a tough job. Having dogs is animals is my calling.
Mm. So what next? What next? So if at this point in your life, are you looking towards retiring, stopping, or writing more
Um,
books as they come to you?
I want to continue to uh, see where life takes me. I definitely would like to write another book. I'd like to. I'm going to work on the radio station some more. I like creating something that's different, and I enjoy it every time I listen to it. For Black History Month, we're doing operas, black operas, which are just a lot of people don't know or listen to. So Porgy and Bess. Well, today it was Carmen, and so this week we'll play Porgy and Bess, and then we'll feature some of our. I can't remember any conductors at the moment, but African American conductors throughout
Right.
the other. I guess Tuesday and Sunday will air those Tuesday evening, Sunday evening at 7.
So you take right now your professional background in the audio production and broadcasting and storytelling, and you uniquely position yourself to craft compelling narratives as an author. And that's really cool. But in addition to that, you're continuing your legacy by engaging and connecting with audiences through various media platforms. Are you looking for any people on your radio station? Are you looking for collaborators or anybody to
Um, yeah,
DJs or anything?
I'd like if you have a show that's a music show. I really want to keep it to different types of music. And the idea is it to be uplifting as much as possible. So uh, I think
How
that's it.
what time span? 30 minutes, 60-minute show or
I haven't given it much thought because I really just want to play music. I don't want to have to get too into talking as much as so there's limited space. But I'm interested in maybe sponsors for an
okay.
hour. Maybe we could just play that music. I mean, we work it out. It's still a project that's growing and altering all the
And
time.
to be a sponsor, how do you want them to reach out to you if they would like to be a sponsor?
You can reach me at my email, which is Wanda at Miles of Media at Gmail. Just try the Gmail for now until that gets bogged down or for some unknown reason. I'm sure there's one at my website, but I'm hardly ever there, and I don't have anyone that mans that. So that's
So
how that goes.
Wanda at Miles Media, right? At Gmail.
Actually, just Miles of Media, Miles of Media at
Miles of
gmail.com.
Media at G. I'm gonna put it up. And so I'll put that up there. And they can be anywhere. They don't have to be local because it's virtual, so they don't have to be anywhere, right? Then I did that right. Let me see if
Yeah,
that's correct.
absolutely.
Is that right?
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Can
Wanda
I
at
change
Miles.
my? I can't change my. I could put it in my name, but I guess that's not allowed. I don't see anything
Okay.
that allows me to do that. But anyway,
When is your station on? When they tune in, is it all
oh,
day?
it's all the time, 24/7. But I have certain shows. A show at 7 for about 30 minutes talk, and some of them are anywhere. They can be from 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. Generally, no longer than 35 with
And
the
Quan says,
programming.
you
But
look into musical conductors, you don't know enough about the part of history. Okay. Okay. And then you said,
I wish
who's
I had a list of them, of the ones that we featured. But it's at least. I think the shows are 3 hours, so we have at least 6 full hours of African American conductors, and
now?
the operas are fantastic. Porgy and Bess. I think that'll be this coming Tuesday and Thursday.
And she wrote Henry Lewis.
Henry Lewis.
That's
I'm writing that down.
okay.
Thank
That's
you.
good.
Quan.
Thank you, Quan, for that. So you actually look into musical conductors. Nice, nice, nice. That's really cool.
Excellent.
Anything else that you would like to share with the people that you're looking for other than sponsors? Do you do
Come
commercials?
listen. Just come hang out and get happy. Enjoy yourself and let me know what you think if you want.
Do you take requests ever? Do you ever take call-in requests?
There's no place to really call in. You could send me like if there's a song that you think is a song that makes you happy, that makes you think that the station would love to air. Let me know. I'm always looking for new music,
Okay.
and I don't. I've got some Nat King Cole on there, so I wouldn't say I go as far back as the '60s, but anything's open as long as the vibe is more important. Uh, Clearly, some production value would be appreciated,
Oh, there's
but
Jamie.
it's a vibe.
That's Jamie.
Look at that sweet face. I love it.
So I know I listened to your radio today and it made me think of my dad. So thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Sometimes we never know what it's going to do for a person. And you made me think of my dad because the type of music you were playing is what he played all the time in the house. And I was like, wow, this just touched my heart. So I want to thank you for that. That was really cool. And
That's
so
how I do it. I'm gonna have to write that down.
Yeah,
Thank you.
a warm memory came from listening to you, and maybe sometimes for holidays and themes, maybe that's something you can incorporate in there. So that's good. And I think you remember Blog Talk Radio, right? Because you were on Blog Talk, right? Did they have a call-in
On
feature?
some shows, yeah.
They had a call-in feature, right? So there's no way,
Yeah, they did. I
I
don't,
think,
yeah, I don't remember exactly how that worked because you'd go live, but it's always stored there, right? Forever and ever. Amen.
yeah. So I'll look into that for you if that's something interesting, because I think I've seen somebody do it, even like on YouTube and different places. They have a number and they call in. And I don't know, they might call in, maybe like say if you had your phone right there and you had a number and they called
Yeah,
you.
that'd be great because then you could call in, we could chit chat about a song or whatever, and then we could get a song on for you, and that would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
That would see there, Crystal, helping me out.
That's a good thing. Well, listen, I'm just glad. Anything else that you would like the people to know about Wanda and her endeavors, or any kind of advertising of something coming up in the future that you want us to look out for, like a show particularly or anything?
I want people to visit the radio station and buy some books, or at least Social Security. Read up and learn more about the security, the lack of security in our social security system. But just another way to leave legacy for your communities that you love, and you can find out a little bit more about that. You can visit also. You want another website?
Yes, ma'am. Give it to me. I'll put it up there for the people so they can go back, because there's
Discovery.
some replays. What's the website?
No, the radio station is just route664.org. It's a lot easier than trying to remember that.
That's
And
going across the screen right now. That one
right,
is there.
that one's, but no one's, yeah. But anyway, the new one is discovery664.com, and you can learn all about the guy I work with and what he's got
And in
ways
case,
for you to learn more. And that's
okay, I stopped it in case that was moving too fast for someone so they could jot it down. But I'm gonna put this one, discovering.
Discovery.
Okay, discovery664.com.
Yep. Um,
And what's the difference between the two?
Well, that is more of an educational website. It's also we have some podcasts there that Les Winston does, and he is the president and voice primarily of Discovery 664. So there you go. You'll learn a lot more about it there. The book is kind of a appetizer,
Okay.
quick
Okay.
and fun read, so you can learn, discover if it's something you really, really want to learn more about, and then you go there.
All right. And you're listening to Miss Wanda Love Myles. I do want to ask you, Love, is that your actual middle name, or is that just what you stand for?
I wanna be loved.
Mm,
I want to exude it as much as possible, and I thought if I added it to my name, it would remind me of who I am and who I want to be.
wow. Love it. What the world needs now is love, sweet love.
The
Oh
only
my
thing.
goodness. That's it. And she is love. The Wanda is love. So if you go to her
A
station,
reminder. So I
oh,
appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
yes, ma'am. I appreciate you. We thank you, everybody. We're going to leave this out here for a replay, and we want you to share, and be on the lookout
This
and
is the
go
radio.
listen. And when you go listen, can they comment on any website to let you know that they heard the station anywhere, or on your page? You can follow. Tell them how they can follow you and where
You
they
know
can.
what? Maybe go to deadair.com.
Okay.
Dead Air. I'm sorry, it's Dead Air Diary. That's the book, the page, the website for the books. Both books are on there, and
Mhm.
I believe you can join some sort of communique there. Should really know more about this stuff. I need a web person. I'm sure that would be helpful.
Okay. So she needs a
We'll,
website person.
we'll wait till I'm overwhelmed, which is
So there you have
so
it. You see, I just put it up there for you. Visit.
dead. No, wait, Dead Air Diary.
Let's fix that. That's Dead Air Diary, not Dead Diary. Okay, so we're gonna fix that and put that up there, and make sure we put that up there for you
Yeah,
guys.
deadairdiary.com. is the website.
DeADAIRDIARY.com. Visit deadairddiary.com. I think it was different. So you know how it corrects it. It was like, I don't like that. But I believe we got it there.
Don't
Deadairddiary.com,
like
y'all.
that. All
Listen, we'll be back on Wednesdays and Sundays at 8 p.m. so you can learn about interesting individuals who are doing amazing things out here that you just might not know about. You would have never heard about Wanda Love Miles had you not popped over here. But we want to make sure to remind you, just go support, show her some love, and go check her out at her station, okay? And listen and send her a comment. All right, once again, that is her station right there. You can go there or you can go to Discovery and 664, either one of these places, and check her out. Any closing comments you'd like to leave with the people today?
Yeah, route664.org is the radio station. That's the easiest way to find it, route664.org.
There you had it, route664.org. Guys, Wanda, I want to thank you so much. I appreciate you. I look forward to doing more with you. And keep up the good work. We need love. We need more love now more than ever. There's a lot of people that are anxious, that are afraid, that are frustrated because of what's happening in the world
Yeah,
today. So
go
go
out
to
and do this if you can and visit the radio station. Give us just an hour. An hour. I would appreciate an hour of your time. That's a lot to ask. Okay, 15 minutes. 15 minutes to an hour. How's that?
they could do an hour. Guess what? If you go to
Well,
her station for
notice
an
it.
hour, you're gonna leave there feeling refreshed. You're gonna
You
leave
will.
there feeling rejuvenated.
You
You're gonna
will.
leave there feeling happy.
You
How
will.
about that? You're gonna leave there feeling love.
All the feels.
Love.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. Oh yeah.
What more can you ask for than to leave somewhere feeling all that? And if you like to come back here, we'll be back. Oh my goodness, we'll be back. We got so much for you this month, Wanda. I appreciate you. I love you. I thank you so much. I look forward to doing some stuff with you guys. She says she need a website person. All right, she needs a website person. So I want you to show her some love and visit her. Okay, I thank you so much, Wanda. Much love to you. Guys, you have been listening to Story Time today. And Wanda Myles, I want you to make sure you go and show her some support. All right. Once again, I want you to make sure that when you come back and you visit us, all right, do those nice things that most people want to see. Like, share, and comment, and subscribe to the channel. And whatever you do, share the live with some people, okay? And also, don't forget, we're here on Wednesdays and Sundays at 8 p.m. And guess what? We've got a lot of good shows coming up. We have a lot of important topics coming up. It's Black History Month. We have some great stories. We have, my goodness, we're booked. We're booked and busy all the way out through April with every Wednesday and Sunday and a couple of Thursday editions for this Black History Month that you don't want to miss. Okay. So I want to thank you guys for watching. You've been listening to Story Time. And you know what I always say? I always say, keep hope alive. I'm your hope catalyst. My mission is to stir up the gift, instill hope, and save lives. And I always look forward to seeing you come back again. I want to thank you for being here. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And Wanda loves you too, so go check out the station. All right. See you next time, guys. Thank you so much for watching Story Time. Be blessed. Keep hope alive.